Welcome to Flying Upstream, the podcast where we uncover the choices, practices, and wisdom that defy mainstream conventions. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Louisa, and together we're here to illuminate the alternative paths that have shaped human experiences through the ages. In each episode, we'll examine ways to move beyond societal norms. We're passionate about how timeless wisdom and unique lifestyle choices can foster healthier, sustainable, and enriching lives.
Join us as we navigate, challenge, and celebrate the beauty and insight of walking the road less traveled. If you've ever felt like you're flying north for the winter while everyone else is flying south, you've found your flock. Welcome back, free spirits. Today we're embarking on a deep dive into the history of meditation, a practice that's become a modern wellness phenomenon, but boasts roots that stretch back millennia.
That's right. From ancient chants to smartphone apps, meditation has taken many forms throughout history, but its core purpose, cultivating inner peace and heightened awareness, remains remarkably consistent.
Exactly, Louisa. So grab your yoga mat and cup of calming tea because we're about to explore the fascinating journey of meditation from its origins of ancient civilizations to its modern day explosion.
To begin, Kristen, where do we find the earliest evidence of meditation practices? Do you know?
It's interesting. The whispers of meditation, as they say, seem to originate in the East. Archaeological evidence suggests practices akin to meditation existed as early as 3000 BC in the Indus Valley Civilization, a cradle of ancient South Asian cultures.
That is incredibly early. What did these practices look like back then?
Well, details are pretty scarce. It was obviously a really, really long time ago, but findings like depictions of seated figures in contemplative poses hint at a focus on inner exploration. Fast forward to around 1500 BCE, and we find clearer evidence in the Vedas, the earliest Hindu scriptures.
So, meditation was deeply intertwined with Hinduism from its very beginning.
Absolutely, it was. The Vedas mention meditation techniques like focusing on the breath and using mantras, which are repetitive sounds or phrases, to achieve a state of heightened awareness and inner peace.
Hey listeners, we're taking a quick break to talk about something delicious and close to our hearts. Kristen, you've got something exciting to share, right?
Absolutely, Louisa. When I went vegan, I found that having some go-to recipes really made the transition easier. That's why I've created a place to help everyone go from vegan curious to vegan confident.
That sounds so amazing. So where can our listeners find these resources?
They can visit my website, kristenmedeiros.com. I've packed it with all the tips and tricks that helped me change my lifestyle so that you can make your vegan journey smooth and enjoyable.
And there's more, right? I heard you're offering something special for our podcast listeners.
Yes, just for our listeners. Head on over to kristenmedeiros.com right now to start your path to becoming vegan confident. Get my favorite recipes that I really used when I was transitioning to veganism. It's all on my website.
That is awesome. Do not wait, folks. Visit kristenmedeiros.com today and take the first step towards a healthier, compassionate lifestyle. Kristen, thanks for sharing this great resource.
Thank you, Louisa. I'm so excited to see how everyone's journey unfolds. Remember, being vegan isn't just good for you, it's good for the planet too.
That sounds very similar to some of the meditation practices that we partake in today. Did meditation play a similar role in other Eastern traditions?
Yeah. Around 6th century BCE, meditation became a core practice in Buddhism, founded by Buddha. Here, the focus was on achieving enlightenment through mindfulness and detachment from worldly desires.
And what about in China?
Excellent question. Around the same time, Taoism emerged in China, promoting the harmonious relationship with nature. Taoist meditation practices aimed to cultivate inner balance and connect with the Tao, the universal flow of energy.
So, meditation thrived in the East for various centuries. When did it start coming over here? When did it start to spread westward?
The spread of meditation to the West was a gradual process, Louisa. Early interactions between Eastern and Western cultures laid the groundwork. For example, Alex the Great's conquests in the 4th century BCE exposed Greeks to some Indian philosophical and spiritual practices, possibly including meditation.
That's interesting. But it wasn't until much later that meditation gained mainstream attention in the West, right? Like, I feel like that's happened in our lifetime.
Exactly. A significant turning point came in the 19th century with the rise of Transcendentalism, an American philosophical movement that emphasized intuition and a connection with nature. Some transcendentalists, writers like Ralph Waldo Emerson, drew inspiration from Eastern philosophies, including meditation and concepts.
And then came the 20th century, the era of meditation's modern boom as we know it.
Yes, the mid 20th century saw a confluence of factors that propelled meditation into the Western spotlight. One key figure was the Vietnamese Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh.
Thich Nhat Hanh, he's often credited with introducing mindfulness practices to the West, isn't he?
Absolutely, he is. His teachings emphasized living in the present moment, resonating with a growing interest in self improvement and personal growth in the West. Mindfulness, a core concept in meditation, became a more accessible gateway for Westerners.
But it was more than just mindfulness, right?
Right. The 1960s saw a burgeoning interest in Eastern spirituality, and meditation practices like transcendental meditation gained popularity. Scientific research also played a role. Studies began to show meditation's potential benefits for stress reduction, anxiety, and even physical health. So, meditation has transformed from its ancient roots to a practice with a strong scientific foundation and diverse applications in the modern world. What does the landscape of meditation look like today, though?
Well, the modern landscape of meditation today is a vibrant tapestry woven with the ancient traditions that it began with and contemporary innovations. Here in the West, there are some key features that we can take a glimpse into, and one of them is accessibility. Gone are the days of the secluded mountaintop retreats. Today, meditation apps like Headspace and Calm offer guided meditations for every need and experience level. There are a gazillion online communities and local meditation groups that provide support and connection as well. And there's a lot of diversity in the styles of meditation as well, from mindfulness practices focused on present moment awareness to mantra meditations and visualization techniques. There is a style of meditation to suit absolutely everyone's needs. While meditation originated in spiritual traditions, it's widely practiced as a secular tool for stress management, improved focus, and overall well being, right? We see this technique used all across the board. It also is increasingly seen as a contemporary practice in areas like yoga, therapy, and even corporate wellness programs partake in the practice of meditation. From a scientific exploration perspective, research continues to delve into the potential benefits of meditation, exploring its impact on everything from cognitive function to pain management.
That's fascinating, Lisa. It seems like meditation is truly adaptable and evolving to meet the needs of our modern world.
Absolutely, Kristen. The beauty of meditation lies in its simplicity and how universal it is. Whether you're seeking a few moments of peace in your busy day, or whether you're actually embarking on a deeper exploration of self awareness, meditation has something to offer for everyone.
So, how can our listeners get started with meditation, Louisa?
So, I think I've shared this before, and I love meditation. It's been a catalyst of change in my own life. And I would recommend for you to start small. I would recommend to aim for just a few minutes a day and gradually increase that as you become more comfortable. It is important to find a quiet space. If you can't find a quiet space because you live in a household full of children like I do, then you need to find a good set of noise canceling headphones. That always works the magic for me. And whether or not you play music in those headphones, it's completely up to you, meditation music, but they will help to cancel out the noise so that you can minimize any distractions to create the peaceful environment that you need for meditation. The other thing that I would recommend is focusing on your breath. There's going to be a million thoughts flowing through your head. And when you first begin to meditate, that's absolutely normal. But what you want to do is just focus on your breath. Every thought, you let it pass and just keep focusing on your breath. This is a very simple but very powerful anchor for your attention. And something else is to try different meditations. Sometimes it's helpful to do guided meditations from apps online or from YouTube, but sometimes it's great to do meditations just on your own, sitting down. And as someone who's been meditating consistently for some time now, I can say that sometimes you need a mix of both. Guided meditations are what I need to go to some days because I cannot get my mind to quiet down. And other times I don't want anyone in my ear and I can sit comfortably and quietly and just do it myself. Or sometimes I like to hear the music to create a quicker sense of calm while I'm meditating. So it's important to just try the different styles and do whatever resonates with you at the time and be okay with the fact that depending on what's going on in your life, that may change for that day. And the most important thing is to be patient and kind to yourself. It takes practice to quiet the mind. Do not get discouraged if your thoughts wander. Simply acknowledge them and gently bring your attention back to your focus point, which is always your breath.
These are fantastic tips. And I'm reminded of hearing a story from a family friend years and years ago that he was scared to be on airplanes. It gave him a lot of anxiety, but he was an executive at a large company and needed to travel for work all the time. And he would get on the plane, put an eye mask on and close his eyes and just go to his meditative state. And he said this is what got him through every flight because he was so petrified of flying. And at the time, I remember thinking, you can do meditation on an airplane? I had never thought of that. I'd always thought of meditation as having to be what we see in movies and TV, which is, you have to be only into yoga and, have butterflies land on your hands, all these silly things. But
Yeah.
it highlighted for me how accessible it is, number one, because you can do it anywhere and anybody can do it. And number two, how easy it is that you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to have a background in anything. You can just be any normal person on the street and you can go pretty much anywhere about your day and still be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking how amazing that was, that this was actually really, really cool.
Yeah, it's so amazing. I think I've shared before on this podcast how life-changing meditation has been for me. And my first time was not my first time, but the first time after I started to practice it consistently, it was in a closet with the door shut. So
Ah.
I was not wearing yoga pants. There were no butterflies. There was no perfect scenery. And it absolutely changed my life. So I love that you share that story because I think there are a lot of myths about meditation, and hopefully we can dig into that at some point in the future too on this podcast. But like you shared, Kristen, there is no specific place. We don't need the butterflies. We don't need the waterfall backdrop. We just need ourselves and our ability to focus our attention back on our breath whenever our mind wanders, because it will. But the more you do it, the more control and less reactive that you become. And I think that's a very valuable tool to have as we navigate life.
Absolutely. I don't know anyone, I literally don't know anybody who is calm and collected and cool on a daily basis who couldn't benefit from this.
Also, we've included some links to helpful resources and some meditations in the show notes for you.
Meditation might be an ancient practice, but it offers so much potential for our modern lives.
So, why not give it a try? You might be surprised by the positive impact it can have on your well being.
All right. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive of the history of meditation, everyone.
We hope that you feel inspired to explore this fascinating practice and explore and experience its transformative power for yourself.
Don't forget to subscribe to Flying Upstream wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're enjoying the show, we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a review and share Flying Upstream with your friends.
Until next time, fly free.
All right, free spirits, that's all the time we have for today on Flying Upstream.
We hope this episode sparked your curiosity and ignited a desire to explore the extraordinary paths less traveled.
Even when the current feels strong, a whole world of possibilities awaits.
We'll see you next time on the other side of mainstream.
So keep questioning, keep challenging, and most importantly, keep flying upstream.